Hi folks, and welcome back to some more Hearts of Iron 4 as we attempt to wrap up our run with Japan, taking over, well, winning World War II basically. It's been an interesting historical play, but we'll talk more about my thoughts on it all when we get to the end. So, we are running an army through the I've got to ask, USSR? No, that's not right. USA. USA is the one we want. These guys here. So we are pretty much running over the USA. I think Canada will fall, obviously, but and knock the US out first. It's a very big, long border. But I've actually got a load of troops here. Who they're chilling in New Zealand, actually. But what we can do, because I think we've got a high enough level port here. Can we get... What have we got? We've got an 8 out of 10. Do we have... Let's make sure we're going to build up enough supplies over here. The railroad needs to be connected. It's not. Okay. So this could be an issue. What I would like to see is to get our railroad connected up, and it's got to go a long way back, but then it does. So I think we can probably do this. That's just one railroad. That's absolutely insane. And then we can put like a great big army up here. What if I also add in a ton of infrastructure? Okay. Oh, it's already done, and they've got one of these already. We could put an air base in. It's got radar. Did I put an airbase in this? I've got an airbase. I've got everything that we could possibly do up here. So what we're going to do, I'm going to try and shorten the war a little bit. We're going to do a naval invasion from here. It's got a long way to go, but we're going to try and bring it around, and we're going to invade. I mean, I guess we just land anywhere. We could actually go in this way, but we're going to try and grab this one. It's going to be some effort, so we're going to go and grab these areas up here. And then expand 30 divisions. I don't know. It's probably not going to happen, but we're going to plan it, and we're going to come from the other side across the Atlantic as well. If that happens quickly, I mean, I will be absolutely amazed. But you never know. It might. So we're also going to take... Because we've got a base over there. We may as well do this. I would very much like to see... You guys don't need to be doing any regions over there. So we're going to go patrol along these coasts. Why can't we do that one? Is it because we don't have a region? For some reason, we can't do that. Now, that's curious to me. That's very, very curious. There must be a reason. It's probably to do with range. Let me make sure that we get those on. Those ones can add it in. For reasons we are not too sure about. I don't actually know. So we're going to add some strike forces. Or rather, these guys are also on patrol. But what we kind of want is that one there. You guys will only patrol that region, but they can't because they're out of range. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. We've got stupid... Yes, that's foolish. That's foolish. I think I've got them set to other orders as well, so they can't... That was it. They can't do both. And then these guys, which is a right odd mix, we're actually going to put you guys onto Strike Force. It's an automatic base. And that region... Oh, because we've got other orders. And we still can't. So... And I can't sail around here. So I've got some stuff that's going and other stuff that isn't. Interesting. We have a load of submarines here. They don't need to be out in the Pacific anymore. So if we automatically base them, we can actually go on convoy raiding around the British Isles. So let's do that and add up a little bit of this, and that's as far as we can get. We should have naval dominance over this. This is a mad plan, by the way. This isn't something that's particularly sensible, so it's not something I recommend doing, but I want to see if we can do it anyway. And we've got the Japanese Home Waters Fleet, which has all sorts of stuff in. So let's send this guy off to patrol here, here, and here, and not there, and all these. So we're basically abandoning our position in the Pacific in an attempt to get this done. It's odd. We can do these. We can add all those in. I don't know where we must be doing German bases. We must be doing German bases. Right, I'm going to put all that in as well. That's the only thing I can think of. We should actually... We had some raiding in over there. We can pick up some US shipping as well. All right, interesting times. We're going to have to keep an eye on that to see if that's even possible. But meanwhile, we're just going to continue high-speed rolling through the USA. 1947 Imperial Confidence. Oh, that's to do with Britain and its empire. It's actually nothing to do with us because Britain's empire is kind of knackered. Right, the winds of tomorrow will blow tomorrow. The naval faction loses influence. One thing, internal power struggle erupts. This doesn't sound good. Bitter power struggle is broken out among the various internal factions within the Empire of Japan, all vying for the Emperor's ear, trying to sway him to their cause. The question on everyone's mind is, which faction will the Emperor ultimately favour? We're going to dismiss the civilian faction, right? Get rid of them. We don't need them. Damn civvies. What I think we've got down here, actually, is a humongously long front line for the Marines to do. So I think this is possibly wrong because I suspect it's that one, right? Yes, I thought so. Okay, so the objective with these guys is just to go and take the rest of Mexico. And what is that? Justification of war goals. The United States is justifying against us. I might be a little bit behind the times here, but I think those days have gone. Right, just order those guys in. And whatever's here, we're just going to order in like that. The idea behind this, of course, being just to cut the US off. They've got some sort of front line, but and we are playing on 5 times speed here because there really isn't much that can stop us and get in the way now, sadly. So wow, that invasion only takes 25 days to plan that. We don't have any naval dominance in the Barents Sea. Military police 3. That's good. These should also help with our... Not that it's an issue now, but we had a critical manpower issue. And I think it was just garrisons, which is still going up, but then we are having to garrison the US. One thing we could do to help with this, actually, is we could move our agents. We did have some agents. They were on issues... Well, they were on missions to bust... What do you call it? Resistance. There's nothing over there. There's a little bit around here, which is getting a bit spicy. There we go. We're going to have one guy in there. This is something I could have done. The 40%ers are definitely worth trying to get down. Because that is quite extreme. Yeah, Australia. For some reason, not appreciating our rule. I don't know why. Can't think why that could be. Right, so... Yeah, the issue is actually, it's this bit here. The Barents Sea. We can't seem to get a whole lot of naval dominance over this region. We currently have no... Oh, it's going up now. Okay, so something's going to go up. And the army? Mexico's capitulated, which is great news. We should have... These guys are still in transit, right? Oh, I need to make sure that they are not set to like a fallback order over here. It looks like they could be. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cancel that. I'm going to cancel all their orders because I want all of them. So it's okay. We're not in a region, not in a position to attack now anyway, but everyone should be trying their very best to go in around here. I mean, 30 divisions landing on that coast. We should get in. Oh, we're sinking ships. Yeah. Okay, so the patrols and the strike fleets are in position, so that's not a problem. We must be using German ports. It looks like the ships from the planes from our carriers are going in, and all we're finding... Oh, boy, all right. Okay, so we did hit a big load. We got all sorts of stuff there. I've never seen it list planes like this before. Is this new? We've seen it list regular sort of symbols for naval planes. I don't remember seeing these. So that's quite interesting. It's interesting that the naval patrol bombers are being used by the AI as well. I guess it gives us more of an insight into what is actually going on. So that was a good one right there. Well, we're clearly getting something. What I can do, I don't know, do we have permission to use German air bases? I don't think we have. I could have set in like... I could probably ask for permission, actually. Is that an option? Ask for airbase access. They've accepted. All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to put in... I mean, we've got stacks of naval bombers here. So if I put about 600 in... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... And all we're going to do is put that and that on and start absolutely leathering this place. And is there anywhere else we could put them? I mean, Germany's got in here, amazingly. There's not as much room up here. But that doesn't mean to say that we shouldn't be doing it. So that will do nicely. I guess we fly over this region, right? We don't quite have the range for it, but I mean... It's probably more important than anywhere else. And we'd need to get permission from the Norwegians to put things in. Oh, hang on, just a minute. No, it is. It is the state owner is Germany. Do we not have permission then to use that? I don't know. Are these rebelled? I think these may have rebelled. It says control of the German Reich. No. Okay, that's... All right, this is a confusing mess. It's a very confusing mess. Is there anything left, really, for us to... I mean, no. No is the answer. I don't think... By the time we put any of that stuff in, it's all over around here. Alright, so we'll continue with that. Our naval zones. We've got naval dominance over here. So what I really just need is for these guys to turn up. And then... Just go for it. Just go for it. Wow. Are we hitting the big fleets? I do hope we're having the big fleet battles. No, we're just hitting transports, which is probably absolutely wrecking UK economy and possibly armies as well, because it wouldn't surprise me if those transports we're hitting are just divisions moving from one area to another. What's this military code? I mean, there's so many things in here to gain base war support. I've never known an issue with war support in games, in these campaigns that we do. If you weren't at war, I can see that there might be. But for the rest of the time, it doesn't seem to be a problem. We'll have some recruitable population at the expense of factory output. Let's go into here. There's got to be some decisions we can take. That one, it's war support. It doesn't do much else. Utilize the film industry, war support. Some options in here for what would be really nice is like stability or something would be quite good. But consumer goods factories for 6 months, let's trigger that. Improved worker conditions, that will get us stability, which is at 88%. I'd love to actually hit the top on that. Let's have some press censorship. And other than that, we'll trigger all these. Because we can, and boost the industry. There, that's kind of nice. So what I want to see is these forces who should now be transferring themselves, yep, across the might of my empire. We've got these who are just refusing to move away from here, though. And I don't really know why that is. I just don't. But cheap trains. Okay, if I put it onto... I can't put it onto there. Whatever reason. I don't know what the reason for that is. But they're not going. We've got so many research things. And there's just nothing that we need to research that's going to make a difference. We will do the trains. Because now we've got cheap ones. It makes sense to. But we have no shortage of trains. But I'll put some more on there anyway. Alright, I'd kind of like to see... Wow. We lost a few naval aircraft, but we're just absolutely marmalizing the Royal Navy down here. Sinking so much. A lot of Norwegian transports in there as well. Is there a screen where we can see our overall losses from? I think there should be, but at the same time, I don't remember ever going in to look at it myself. Would it be under... It's a bit late to be adding theorists, I think. I think that ship has sailed. Naval headquarters, admirals. I feel like there is. I don't know that I've ever seen it or been into it, but I feel like I've seen it in other people's play? Let me know in the comments down below. Because I would like to see just how many ships we have lost as a nation. Because I don't think it's very many. I have a feeling it's in fact none at all. Okay, the submarines are picking up loads and loads and loads of stuff. The enemy do have quite a lot of ships. We've got full naval dominance. I think we're going to actually see a naval invasion going off here. We've lost it there. Let me just find these guys. They are set to trigger. I think everyone's just arriving. Oh, they're about to sail. Oh, no, this is bad. They're about to sail, but because they've just arrived by sodding train, they're at 0% cohesion. So I think this is going to be an unmitigated disaster. I set it to trigger, and I probably shouldn't. Well, okay. Overconfidence can have its downsides as well. It looks like those guys are sailing, although I'm tempted to turn that order off. Yeah, we keep sinking more stuff. Do you know what? I'm just going to click off. Because I thought there was... Oh, here we go. Here we go. So there's some coming. I could order them back to base, I guess. Are they actually retreating back to base? I think that's the wise thing to do. We let them get back to base and prepare. We can go in there anytime. Meanwhile, over in North America... is anything... What does this do? Integrate the Great Japan Youth Party, which gives us fascism... Oh, it's just as an advisor, though. Recruitable population factor. Yep, because 2 million men is still not enough. United Mexican States. They are at war with someone. They're in a faction... Oh, they are. There's 2 separate wars. Okay, so we should see the bunch of Marines. And what we want is to actually cause a capitulation on these guys. He's got a promotion to an infantry expert. That's the guy currently slogging through Alaska and Canada. Yes, progress is slow, but supplies are dreadful. Is that a separate zone in there? It is. Right, that should help a little bit, you would think. But let's make sure we've got... I think the problem is that we may have railways, but we have nothing to... We have no depots at the end of them to disperse the supplies. So we'll fix that. Did we get gone? Oh, we got gone on this one? Right, okay. So we need to actually... Not that guy. Hang on. Turn him off. So I'm just going to quickly... I should put him in another... I should put him in another flipping army, shouldn't I? Because this is going to mess things up. Yeah, okay. Let's put you in another group. Well, that'll maintain his orders anyway. So that's fine. I don't think we have a field marshal, do we? That's spare. You'll do. Promote. In you go. Offensive doctrine. This is our... Well, I want to see how badly we can actually plan an invasion of the UK and still pull off an invasion of the UK. Right, so what we're going to do is expand this attack to go like that. And trigger it. We're not seeing loads of action for some reason. Let's push those guys out of North America. I think it's because we've got 2 wonky orders. Yeah, it's not being given. So hang on. Just click. Click. And then redraw that one in again. It just did not like what I'd drawn in there. And then, oh, let's make sure we get all those lovely coastal regions drawn in there. Going down the Gulf. Right, trigger that one. And we should see... nothing? Some divisions... okay, I can't get everyone into... Norway's capitulated. Well, that's good. For whatever reasons, I can't get all my divisions from here. I've got 12 going in, so it's fine. I just don't know why I can't get the rest of the army in. I've given them the orders. I've ordered them in. We've got more people coming, so we're going to see if we invade anyway. And then we will bring the rest of the army down. Yeah, it seems like a terrible, terrible idea. I know. Large ships on low strength. Ooh, there's a big cruiser there, which I really don't care about losing. It'll be one of the very first that we lose. Did we manage to get... yes, we did this. We sent a few of our cavalry over across the desert here to help wipe out... there they are. 24 cavalry divisions. We sent them through there. They're actually in supply in the middle of this desert. That is absolutely amazing. I don't know quite how that's happened, but we will also get to... let's get to the coast over there. Because those guys are going to be going into the UK as well. Alright. Let's see this land. Let's see this land. Come on. Okay, that's fine. I don't think we need any more focuses. I'm going for the knockout killer blow. We do have divisions coming up in support of this. So as long as we make it to shore... I feel like there might be an awful lot of British divisions in Britain here. We're going in. We better slow this down a bit, I think. Come on, let's see where we get in. So we've made it in. Excellent. We've made it in some of the places. So what we want to absolutely make sure is that these land successfully here. That is absolutely essential to get that port. If we get the port, I think we're pretty much done here. We're trying to land here, but I can't see that this is going to be very successful, unfortunately. Right, let's make sure that we attack from the top end as well. If we get the... are we going to get in? No way! No way! Right, excellent. So, take this whole army. Just get rid of that order. So, there's units coming. And put a frontline order like that on. And then let's just make sure that we are ticked to go across like this. And let's pick up all of Scotland in the process. And it's on triggering, but I don't know if it's going to actually go ahead. And at that point, I'd say we also need our cavalry in there. So we've got this new field marshal order coming on here. Yep, you guys can now sail up. This is unbelievable. I honestly did not think that this would be a thing. We've got units marching away from where they need to be to hold on to things here. So do not lose this flipping port here, guys. Any of them. Once we're in, things will be fine. We can stabilize that front line. And we're going to go and see why things aren't... Oh, hang on. We've got far too... oh, my God. Right. Delete that. Delete that and that. I thought that might happen as more of our little invasion forces came into land. Right. Grab all that, and we want to be down as far as that. It gives us a nice little front line there. Trigger and go. Like the UK, even up here, their supplies are awful. They shouldn't be that bad on home soil. I guess we'll have the railways and stuff, and this is like, they are being cut out, but even so, it shouldn't really be that bad. I don't think it should be that bad. Meanwhile, are we making progress over here? So why isn't this chap over here? This army. Why aren't they going all in? Go aggressive. Is there a reason? Yeah, okay. I guess they just didn't like the look of the supplies or something like that, so we threw them in and got things moving, so that's good. Push everyone out of the US. Come on. Let's see if we can save the world without having to take Greenland. Just saying. Just saying. Supplies better over here? They're starting to improve. Yeah, they're starting to improve along the coast, so that's also good news. Meanwhile, the Marines have also hit another problem down here. And it's just a simple, it is quite a simple fact, actually, is that as we take lands, borders shift and break, just break. There we go. So we're into the UK. In quite a big way as well. I mean, I really thought this would be much more of a problem. Let's add in a ton of ground support here. Oh, before I do that, let's just make sure we're on this stack of armies. Which one is it? It's these guys here. And then we can open this up. We can add every ground support plane I have, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's throw in some fighters as well. We should have lots of these guys. That's easily enough. That one. Give them to that force. That's a lot. That's a lot of air power we've just thrown in there. Saving it all to the end. Oh, ban. I mean, our guys, they just look unstoppable, don't they? They absolutely do. It just there's a lot of mines in the North Sea. Didn't seem to make an awful lot of difference, though. Okay, we're just waiting for the cavalry to turn up now, and it's starting to come in, so that's excellent news. Right, brilliant. We've got the new armoured trains, which I'm not going to make, because I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of point. Okay, so let me grab all of these guys and put them all onto this force. And what we're going to do is let the cavalry deal with that other issue up there. Because I don't think that's going to be like much of a problem. Let's go take Stornoway. Let's go all the way up to... Oh my god, that might be a problem up there. Kill that guy off there. Everyone pile down here. Womp. That is just... What if I go into that? Yeah, I mean, even when we're outnumbered, we've just... They have nothing. They have absolutely nothing. It's a cohesion that's just absolutely destroyed here. Let's add another order into that. So we're going to go down and attempt to take London. I didn't think I'd do it with 30 divisions. I really didn't. I thought that's just a crazy ask. And we are going to need a stack of guys up there just to make sure. I'll put all these... Hang on. What I'm going to do... Yeah, go on. Take those, and then we've got this bit sorted. Make sure we're going up there. You go that way. And then we will have to have a front line across there. And I would like that one taking as well. I don't think the UK is going to hold out from Belfast somehow. This little lot just crushed this port here. We've got every naval advantage possible. This is insane. Absolutely insane. There we go. We finally got Mexico sorted. I don't think we'll have any naval dominance over here, which is not a problem. The Dominion of Canada is causing us a little bit of an issue. Just give me one division. It's only one division. We're going to go to the sea. It's going to get a bit cold and hungry over there, but that's where we're going. Why not? What are we hitting over here? We're hitting American transports. I mean, these messages could have been up for a long time, but why would there be American transports over there? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Okay. Excellent. No, 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 no. Come on. We're taking all of this. And let's see if we can actually go and line up. I think one of the issues we might have is that there just aren't enough soldiers on this line to man the whole thing. It is a big front line, look. Let me switch that onto balanced cohesion. We don't really want to be shifting people from one end of the front to the other. That would be madness. If we need to make this bigger, can I just click on... Can I click on like this to add that army in? I think I can, yeah. I didn't know if I could do that, adding an army to a field marshal front line, but it looks like we can, so we're going to ship another 24 divisions in. I've got to admit, I have made this line as big and awkward as I possibly could have done by doing it like this. Oh, what we haven't done is actually use any tanks whatsoever in any of this. We're going to address this in a minute, but we've got tanks sitting in San Francisco. I think we're going to head to Washington with them. We're just going to... No, we won't do that. That is madness. We're going to try and do a cut-off like that and maybe head up the coast. And the infantry will follow. Look at this. The Swiss Confederation joined the Allies. So I know a lot of you have commented and thought that, you know, why does the AI join suicidal wars? Why would Switzerland think, you know what's a good idea? The US is on its knees. Britain is nearly completely covered by Japan. We're surrounded on all sides by enemies that have proven themselves in battle and have conquered the world. Let's go to war. It would be nice if there was some sort of modifier which meant the AI, instead of just following a focus tree till it dragged them into a war, there was something that said declare war chant is increased by or decreased by the victory point swing in the war that they're thinking of joining. So as if like everyone's nearly knocked out in this. It's like the Switzerland would have like a negative modifier to declaring war. That's what I think should be in the game. But anyway, it's not going to affect us. It's not our problem. Speaking of problems, though, what might... Oh, okay, these guys are knackered up here. So we may as well just go and finish that off. I don't think we need worry about naval invasions up there. Cavalry, once again, proving that it is, in fact, awesome stuff. And still has a place in the game. Even after all these years, it still has a place in the game. Spain's got involved. Okay, in that case then, I think I need to redraw these battle lines because I wasn't actually expecting that. So what we need is just shorten that down to there. And the cavalry can kind of be shortened as well because we don't really need you to go in through Spain. In fact, what we should have is ask for military access. And then that might matter, might help. Okay, so Spain. I have seen Spain do some pretty powerful things, actually, when they are allowed to go bad like this. They can be quite a powerful force. I think we're approaching the end game here, folks. I definitely think we're approaching the end game. Did my tanks ever move? Let's put them on railroad, actually, because that's just madness. I don't think we're going to need them. I think we're heading in quite nicely. What a front line. That is just insane. You guys moving? Everyone just pile in there. Someone go down there. Just keep moving. That's all we need to do. Just keep on moving. Let's speed this up again now because I really do think this is heading towards... Oh, we've got... Right, so the United Kingdom's capitulated. That is good news. What I could do is add these guys into this force, and I know this is going to be a huge penalty, but we'll just get 30 divisions onto this front line. They'll come across the Atlantic. We still never saw that big Royal Naval fleet. I dare say the Royal Navy, if there was any big fleets, because the AI might be parceling its fleets up into lots of smaller ones now to cope with the new naval rules. Don't actually know. I honestly don't know how that's coping. We've seen from this playthrough that it doesn't cope very well, in my opinion. But what it's actually doing is unknown to me. We'd have to switch sides from the save, I think. Load up the UK and see what's going on. Alright, so there is only the US, and that is it. So all we're going to do is we're going to puppet the United Kingdom. I do have a good war score. We can puppet the entirety... Oh, can I actually puppet the entirety of the US? Because that would be so much better. Is that a thing? Puppet the United States. It's a thing! Unbelievable. Spain might have something to say about that. And then we're also going to puppet the Philippines. Select all. We still have 1,400 points left. British Malaya. Dutch East Indies. Are they selected? They're not selected, are they? So let's make sure we've actually got all those on the list there. That bit of British Malaya, is that not picked? Do you know what? Submit demands. And I'm not really interested. Let's just confirm and exit. The war's over. We've finished. I want to see the victory score screen and get some details on there. Yeah, we could take stuff. We could play with stuff. It doesn't actually matter. We're not fighting anywhere else. I should maybe have done something with the USSR. The game's really struggling to work this one out. So let's see. Let's hit pause. There's no more wars. It's all over. We can get back to doing the Olympics. Japanese East Indies. It looks like we got the whole lot. Yeah, that's very nice. Japanese Malaya. That was already ours. These were already ours. The Tibetan Empire now expands. Oh, okay. Germany's taken over some of these. Because why not? That's still Imperial Japan. I did forget about Great Britain. We could maybe have had some of that. But that's fine. That is the New World Order right now. So we are going to... I did forget about these guys. No, I puppeted them, didn't I? The Japanese Protectorate of America. So, I would say Japan fulfilled its imperial dreams. I did forget about Australia. We could have done those as well. But it's by and by. Right, so if I go exit game at this point, we're going to get a... Not exit game. Exit to menu. Click. This is what I wanted to see. So, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the sort by Navy score. We did come out at the top, which is not any great surprise, to be quite honest. Our Navy score... Is this overall score? Okay, we came second overall. They did a lot better. Admittedly, I didn't do much with the air power. Well, okay. Right, what can we say about this then? So, was it fun playing as Japan with the new DLC? The focus tree is unbelievably massive and unbelievably huge. You need to have a plan going through it, because otherwise you will just get lost. On the flip side of that is that I don't think it matters too much. There's so much stuff in there that unless you're playing multiplayer, a lot of the decisions that you take aren't going to matter. I mean, there's so much stuff that improves war support. When you're at war, you end up at 100% war support anyway. There's very little things in there that really seem to make a tangible difference. Early on, yes. What'll be more interesting is the alternative history options in this. Now, I'm going to say there's a downside to whatever alternative history options we choose to play. And that is the naval side of the game. And that's more to do with the updates and things that come with the DLC. But we'll come to that in a moment. The faction options with the DLC. Sure, we can gain faction influence. We can do stuff. Does it add stuff to the game? Does it add fun? Does it add amazing decisions and choices and new options? No, it doesn't. It feels like it plays out before, but perhaps I didn't explore that enough. It does give you some short-term goals, I guess, which, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing that they've added in, but I don't feel like it's added much to a game that I enjoyed anyway. But let's come to the naval side, because this is the general update that came with the game, not just with the DLC. So this is the thing that I have some issues with. Let's just switch to that, I think. So the problems I have with this is that it was already a complex game before, and what these changes have done is they've made it more realistic, I think, in the way that you have to focus your fleets to pull off naval invasions. But at the same time, they have made it much more of a micromanagement hell, whilst not really improving the interface to manage that level of micromanagement. And the typical thing I'm going to point at is that it's a bit harder to see at first glance, just as you're flicking over the map, which zones you have dominance or non-dominance over. I like the old red, green, yellow system. It just you could see it in an instant. You click on Navy, you can see instantly what sea zones are contested, where you have problems. This requires a lot more careful thought and observation, which will result in you at some point getting invaded, probably particularly in multiplayer when you just can't keep an eye on every zone yourself. I like the theory behind the naval zones slowly increasing and decreasing in dominance, and the mechanics that they've put in where you have to patrol, strike forces work a bit differently, and you can't just cover the entire map. In theory, that's all better. But I think they need to make some UI changes so that you can manage all that. Because when I want to move fleets around now and change where they're working, I have to make sure I cancel all the orders that I'd set them up before so that I can focus on the new zones that those fleets are going to be working in. And if I miss that, it spreads the fleets across too many zones, and we end up with them nothing being covered and it taking ages to make any difference. So it's more of a UI thing than a mechanics thing. I think I have an issue with the naval side of stuff. But the other issue I have with the Navy is that the AI just does not seem to be able to cope with the changes. I mean, yes, I played as Japan, which have a strong Navy. You saw how I just bumbled through it, and I didn't put much of an effort in. I didn't design any new capital ships. I didn't build any new carriers other than what we started the game with or in construction at that point. We added some light cruisers. I'd be surprised if I even lost a single ship in that playthrough. There was just nothing I felt like I could do badly that would end up being a wrong decision or a wrong choice, because I don't think the AI is able to calculate what it needs to do with these changes to make effective fleets and an effective opposition. We never saw a single big battle fleet, did we? We never engaged big US fleet or the big UK fleet, although to be fair, by that point the UK fleet might have been sunk by the Italians and the Germans. But we should have seen a massive American fleet or two in the Pacific, and they just didn't materialize. And I can only assume it's that the AI is trying to split all its forces up to cover various sea zones, trying to get dominance, leaving nothing to oppose our big forces. And that's bad. That's not a good thing at all. So the experience of playing is that the AI can't cope with the naval changes. Playing the naval changes isn't all that much fun, but it might be if they change the UI. Multiplayer is going to be different, of course. So if you've got the experience of playing multiplayer now, particularly player versus player, not co-op, let me know your thoughts on that, because I can see this being problematical for multiplayer stuff, or people having to do a whole lot more management to make sure they're not getting invaded by some sneaky back channel that they haven't got covered in the sea zones and stuff. It's going to be curious. And the fact that players can very quickly move their fleets from one place to another, and another player would have to be constantly monitoring the sea zones to see where dominance is shifting to be able to counter that. But of course, with the UI changes where it's not easy to see where dominance is shifting from, I don't think it's going to work out that well, is my personal opinion. But I don't do much multiplayer, so it doesn't really affect me. So anyway, thoughts on that would be greatly appreciated. So going forwards, I want to look more not just in the factions altered by this DLC, or the nations like China as well. And the stuff, I did get some Graveyard of Empire stuff. That's Afghanistan, Iran, and India, I think. But I'm going to be looking, I'm not doing any more historical playthroughs for the time being, unless something changes. But I'm going to be looking at some alt history stuff with more limited goals than take over the world and knock the Allies out of World War II. We're playing alternative history, and I'm going to look for some fun stuff and some challenges. So if you've got any idea for challenges to play with any nation, preferably if it doesn't involve a lot of naval stuff, then let me know, because we'll do some videos like that. I think that'll be fun. So, yeah, kind of disappointed with the changes to the game in the Navy and just the way it's been implemented. Maybe I'm in a minority with that. I don't know. But it seems to have made an already complex game more complex in the amount of work that you have to do, and clicking and changing and things. Whereas what the game could really do with, rather than all these DLCs and expansions and new focus trees and buffs to make nations the new superpower, which always seems to be the case. DLC comes out focusing on new nations, suddenly it's massively powerful with its options compared to what it was before or anything else. We need a bit more, perhaps a bit more balance, but what we really need is a better AI, and we've needed that for years. AI that can utilize armored divisions properly, AI that doesn't join suicidal wars, AI that just manages its armies a bit better, and now its navy's a bit better. So that's what I would like to see them make changes. But of course, that doesn't put money in the pocket, does it? That's not selling expansions doing that. But that's what the game needs. And perhaps that's going to be achieved through mods. So mods are also something we're going to look at after we've played a load of alt history stuff with the base game. Then we'll start running some mods and try some playthroughs like that and have some fun with it. So those are my thoughts on, was it No Compromise, No Surrender? Yeah, let me know your thoughts too. And let me know what you think of the Japanese playthrough. You saw me play it in a very lazy, haphazard sort of a way, which I think just proves that when you're playing against the AI, you can get away with all sorts of shit and still win. We didn't micromanage the front lines, which I normally like to do, running encirclements. We played a different style. It was sit back, get the strategy right, let it play out, it wins. And in this case, I felt like I could do no wrong because the AI was struggling. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on all the things we've just talked about, because I do love to hear them. I do try to read every single comment when YouTube notifies me of them. So I do appreciate it, folks. And we will see you on the next one. I've got some different stuff coming up. Some more strategy stuff that you will like. I want to go back to the Master of Command, we'll do a playthrough of that. I've got some Ground of Aces, World War II, British Air Base, kind of management sim, kind of. It's a fun one though. And we've got some other games that have been sent through as well. Some awesome war games. Oh, and a playthrough of News Tower, which I really want to do because News Tower is excellent. Now it's been released. Totally different to all this World War II stuff, but a really cool, chill game as well. So we're going to have some fun. And I hope that's going to be a good start to 2026 and how we continue. So, thanks again. And, of course, I will catch you on the next one.